where should I start? It was 2014. I got a remote job and I went through a divorce. One journey ended. I had the flexibility of a remote job. So I said, okay, let's use this. And that's when I started traveling. I did not know the term digital nomad. But I felt like, okay, the backstory to that is I grew up in a small town. My only window to the outer world was, and especially as an introvert, my only window to the outer world was books, reading travel magazines, reading stories, saying hello to the occasional foreigners we saw on the road in my small town. I was curious about the world. I felt like I want to travel, I want to go to these places. While growing up, I did not have money. So the next best option that I had was there used to be a train book, Trains at a Glance. I used to have that, and then I used to plan random journeys that I never took. And that's how the traveler and nomad in me was shaped. 2014, remote job, divorce. I was free. I was free to be wherever I want, whoever I want to be with. And that's how I discovered the digital nomad lifestyle. 2015, I went to Varkala, February 2015. It's been over 11 years now. Feels like fresh memories. That really made me think, oh, this is possible. Why can't I explore more places? And then that 1 week in Varkala turned into 1 month in Himachal. That turned into few months in Himachal, and I said, okay, let's go. Now I have enough confidence. I can work remotely. I am productive. I can get things done. Let me fulfill my childhood dreams. And Chiang Mai was one of the first place, Christoph, that I went to. I spent 4 months there. Two things happened. One, a lot of foreigners that I met during my journey, they said, you are the first Indian digital nomad that we have met. And I was like, we are a country of 1.4 billion people. How is that possible? Like, where are all these people? We have so many call centers and so many people working at least remotely, not where they should be. And why digital nomadism is not popular in India. The second thing that happened was a lot of people during my Southeast Asia journeys. I spent almost 2 years before starting NomadGao. So during those trips, people were curious about India, right? And they had the same questions: is it safe? Is the internet good? Do you have enough power? And the culture shock elements, like the country is so big, so diverse, where to start from. I told myself, okay, let's use this as an opportunity. Let's try doing retreats for digital nomads coming to India, or rather to get them to India. So we ran the first retreat in Dharamshala, 2017. We got 12 people from 6 different countries, 5 different continents. That was crazy. I mean, we did not expect that, and we hardly had to spend anything on marketing, because I believe that people always want to explore India. They just need a safe space. They just need somebody to guide them through their India journey. And that hypothesis was tested when I was doing retreats. But there was a challenge, because running retreats is like running a circus, right? Especially if you are looking at digital nomads. So you need to set up a pop-up co-working space. You need to ensure that everything is running well. And back then, even though it was 2017, the ISPs were giving us 30 Mbps bandwidth for 30,000 a month, which didn't make sense, but that's all we had. So there was always this thought at the back of my mind that okay, let's have our own spaces at some point in time, designed for digital nomads, designed for remote work. That's NomadGao, but it happened much later. Um, I I felt that I was not ready for it as an entrepreneur, right? The nomad in me wanted to travel. Uh, the person on a mission wanted to see more digital nomads coming to India. Uh, but starting spaces, my own spaces back in 2017 was still looked like a far-fetched dream because uh, it's a dilemma, right? Do you want to continue traveling, or do you want to settle down and let people travel to you? We were talking about this, Divi, just a while ago. So I explored, inviting other co-living brands in Southeast Asia to India to set up shop here, and I said I'll take care of the community, I'll take care of everything. That did not work out because doing business in India is another bit which is challenging. I also pitched this idea to Varun back in 2018. Back then, Varun was, Varun was leading 91 Springboard, and I said, okay, let's build something for, you have already moved to Goa, let's build something for digital nomads. But 91 Springboard also had other plans. I tried to pitch this to government of Goa. I said, look, you are a tourism focused state. The usual, mass tourism will continue, but eventually it will lead to infrastructure issues, problems. You need to diversify your tourism, and digital nomads is a great segment to tap into. I worked with them for a few months, trying to build a policy around it, trying to show them that okay, let's build clusters, digital nomad villages around Goa, in different parts of Goa, so that you don't need to look at whole Goa at once. Build one digital nomad village in north, one in south, one in hinterlands, and then connect them together through community activities and all of that. But even during that time, there were some political issues in Goa, and that project never kicked off. So I said, okay, now I've spent enough time in Goa. This is something I really want to do. Let me see if I can move to Goa and try to do it myself. And 2019 June, we moved to Goa. Our daughter was 1 year old. I thought would probably take a year and a half to save enough money to have the capital to start something of this kind. But destiny had other plans. So July 2019, I happened to meet my neighbor. She said, I have a guest house and I'm looking for a new tenant. Why don't you check it out? It was a nice 4-bedroom villa in Asagao, and I liked it. Like the moment I entered, I felt like I could visualize, oh, this could be a co-working space. Oh, this could be a community area. This is where bonfires will happen. This is where the people will gather together at lunch. And somehow I arranged funds because it was a small property. It did not take much time to arrange funds, but my journey from a nomad to a nomad enabler happened very quickly, right? And 2019 October, November is when we opened our doors. And Shehzada was, when did you come? I think
2019 November, November. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Always a first.
Then, I felt like, okay, there is such a nice energy. There are people from around the world. When we started, we had mostly foreigners because back then, even in 2019, there were hardly any Indian digital nomads. And January 2020, I said, okay, this is what I want to do full time because I love the energy, I love what I'm doing, I love what I'm building. January 2020, I left everything else that I was doing. I said, okay, this is what I want to do. March. In fact, February. The lockdown start and COVID happens, and again, that was a pivotal time because we were so new in the business that if we would have closed down, nobody would have noticed, because for a lot of places, a lot of hospitality businesses, that was the wisest thing to do because COVID extended for far too long, and burning money, taking the losses for so long is foolish. But personally for me, remote work and digital nomad lifestyle has given me a lot. Right? I met my wife while nomading in Southeast Asia. I've made so many good friends. As I said, I grew up as an introvert, and I felt like I finally found my community when I started nomading. And I've made so many good friends. So I said, yes, I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to wait it out, build this, but I'm going to stick to the roots of building for digital nomads. And till this date, we have stayed true to who we are. 2 years of COVID was a hard time. Shehzada and I started the podcast, and then bunch of other ideas about how to make remote work more popular among corporates and among Indians. A lot of things that felt like a time when it could go either direction, right? That was the moment when remote work would have become the real new normal or would have died down. Even today, I look at this more in terms of 10-20 year horizon than looking at it in a short term perspective. Oh, people are going back to office and all of that. I feel it's challenging to build anything in India. It's even more challenging to build anything for digital nomads in India, because if you look at the statistics, India is not a primary, secondary destination for global digital nomads. So if you look at Asia, most people would go to Thailand first, and Thailand or Bali, and then if they feel more confident, comfortable, they explore Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia. India is not on that map, even now. We started NomadGao to change that, right? But while being mindful that we cannot do this alone, and it's nice to see Shehzada Divi building in this space, 360 Agunda also focusing on this segment to make it happen. We need more such spaces. I also spoke to the founder of Yakten Digital Nomad Village in Sikkim, and I think the good part about building for digital nomads or building hospitality business, new age hospitality business in India, people are nice, there is a collaborative energy, there is no, competitive, overtly negative competitive spirit, right? And I love that, and I think everyone needs to put efforts to make that happen. India is chaotic, but it's also peaceful. I often hear from a lot of people who we host that in Delhi they feel chaotic, but the moment they are in Himachal, they feel the peace that they have never felt before. And that's the beauty of India, right? It's so diverse, and there are so many experiences to take. And I think building something like Jungli Nomad Trail would help people get the best of that India experience in a safe space. So yeah, I think I'll open this up for questions and answers rather than talking about this more. But thank you, Divi, for
Thank you, Vishal.
organizing this.
questions for Mayur? Christoph?
Yeah, I would like to second on that. On the diversity or lack of diversity in the global nomad community over time. Like when I remember when I was at my first two nomad summits in Shanghai before COVID in 2019 and 20, there was like 80% North Americans and 20% Europeans and Africans. But it has changed over time, and especially after COVID. Like when we brought back the Nomad Summit last year in 2025, it was already like 50% Europeans, 30% North Americans, and then quite a bit of rest of the world. And this year, for the first time, I'm super proud of that from our side, but I really wonder what your perception looks like. We have sold half of the tickets to Asians. And that means mainly Japanese, Koreans, Taiwanese, but also there were a bunch of Indians, there were Middle Eastern people, and we've also sold some tickets locally to the Philippines, to the Vietnamese, and to Thais. So seeing the event here is already quite interesting to see that there's a lot of domestic nomadism happening. So when you said earlier that before COVID it was only foreigners coming, and now we see an event here where I count 3 foreigners among like 50 Indians, that looks to me like a big change. How do you see that over time?
Christoph, absolutely. So remote work as a way of working was not very popular pre-COVID among Indians, right? And if you look at the reasons behind that, I think it's cultural more than, a lot of things can be done remotely. It's just that on the company culture side, managers don't trust employees to get things done remotely as much. And on the, employee side, houses are small, people, have built this habit of having a manager sitting on your head to get things done. So I think it needs a cultural change. But freelancing and gig opportunities, I think they are growing in India. So yes, there are people with remote jobs traveling domestically and internationally as well that we host. There are a lot of freelancers, designers, consultants, of course developers that come through. And I think one thing that helped us during COVID, right? Places in Bali and Chiang Mai closed down. Draper Startup House in Chiang Mai closed down, or even Ubud in Bali, they closed down before COVID. Dojo closed down. All of these places closed down, but we could survive only because we are in India. Because we could see the shift happening from only foreigners to a mix of foreigners and Indians. I think Indonesia, Thailand, even Vietnam doesn't have that liberty. So it's definitely an uptrend. Of course, there would be short-term challenges in the whole, digital nomad and remote work scene in India. Like right now, there are job cuts happening because of AI. But I feel new jobs will happen and people will find ways to do something creative, productive with their time. So I am bullish about nomadism in India, especially with the demographics that we have. We are still, average age is still under 30, so people have a lot of aspirations. The online content, it has fueled that, need for nomadism. So, yeah, all good things, all things pointing out to.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, as we can see that these things are growing, like people are working more online, and AI is coming, and it will of course reshift again. But the thing is that, what do you think? Why people are not so much interested in particularly doing for this digital nomad segment? Because hospitality is not new to India. So there are a lot of hospital chains, lot of like this kind of things. But still, why people are not focusing on this particular segment? Is this because of something related to finance or something? What's your take on that? Like, why people are less interested going to this, even into 2026?
Yeah. So there are multiple things. You know, one thing from that I have heard from people is it's comfortable working from home. Why seek discomfort? I think that's your favorite quote. We hosted someone who started nomading for the first time after working remotely for 4 years. Earns well, you know, just doesn't have that will to get out of the house because he earns well, so he has a separate bedroom that acts as an office. Second thing that I've heard repeatedly from Indians is it's good to do for a while, but they need their conveniences, comforts. So a lot of people do this for a while. Third is, I think, the attachment to family. If you look at the, you know, a lot of people will say, oh, I have this wedding to attend, so I need to go back. Oh, I have to do this. I have to be home for these reasons. I think that also culturally holds us back from nomading and taking this full time. I think self-dependence. How many guys here cook? I think here it would be very high percentage, but just asking in general. How many of the guys cook?
Oh, cook.
Yeah, basically. Enough
Yeah.
to feed yourself.
Yeah. But you know, when you start nomading, you need to take care of yourself better, right? We are learning as Indians. We have people who started nomading. They came last year and now they came again. Last year for the first time they started nomading. They came again this year, and I can see the difference. So I think the self-dependence is something that needs to come up. Any other reasons, Dili, Shahzada?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, the target audience in 2019, the first property that you built was according to their needs and aspirations, right? Where it was mostly foreigners that were coming. Now in 2025 and 26, how do you see the needs and aspirations of the new audience has changed, and what differences?
Yes, that's a great question.
Yes.
Yes, so Shahzada is asking, 2019 when we started, the needs and aspirations of people we hosted back then were different. And in 2026, they're different. So how do we sort of
What are the
align
differences?
this? Yeah, what are the differences? I think 2019, we were hosting strictly digital nomads who have been doing this, right? They had zero doubts about what they want. In 2026, we still host a lot of people who are doing this for the first time. That means they don't even know that such places exist, such thing exists. Second thing is they are trying to, 2019 digital nomad wanted a work-life balance, but that person was ready to figure things out for himself or herself, right? 2026, people want everything at one place, right? A lot of people come to me and say, oh, we want gym, we want this. We started a cafe, restaurant. We did not run it ourselves for so many years. We started it 1.5 years ago. And people want events, activities happening there all the time. So I think this is the change that I have seen. Another thing is, I think length of stay has reduced. Right? 2019 digital nomad, he was nomadic. He was spending a month, 2, 3 at a place, depending on the visa. Today, there are a lot of people, especially Indians, who are working hybrid remote. They go to office 2 days a week. They have the flexibility 3 days a week. If they combine 2 weeks together, they probably have 8-9 days of travel time or remote work from the hills or from Goa time, right? What happens is when you cater to this segment, they are expecting, because they are doing this maybe once, twice a year. It's not their lifestyle. So they are looking at hotel-like comforts. So for them, it's a vacation. They don't mind going to a resort and staying those 8-9 days. Their budget is higher than a typical nomad who is seeking monthly discounts and all. As long as you provide better cleanliness, better amenities, better everything, right? So yeah, I think that's a core difference that I see.